What is up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are definitely going to be doing some test hands here for the Shiranui deck that I recently debuted yesterday. So I hope you're all excited about this. I did mention that this was going to be a very complex deck to actually play. So because of that, do expect some sort of misplays. Who knows, I mean if I don't make any misplays that's great, but given the complexity of each of these individual cards and the way they interact, it is likely to occur. However, we are going to be focusing on going first, so with that being said, let's just begin. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like, share, comment and subscribe, and also hit that bell notification. Now something I would like to quickly mention is recently I actually got myself a copy of the Drago Necro Nethersoul Dragon. At long last I finally have this card, so I'm really pleased about that. But given how good this card is, I might actually try to get a second copy of it as well. Just because Super Poly with zombies, it's so powerful. Though with that being said, there is potential that this card might go in the ban list. That's just my prediction given how good this is, but who knows. For the time being, I'm just really pleased that I already have one, so I'm going to be adding this to the deck, and I'm going to be taking out my Almaduke because I just don't find that as applicable in this particular case. So that's going to be the slight change there, because I only recently got the Nethersoul Dragon today. But let's just begin. Alright, so here's our opening hand. As we can see, we don't need to expect too much out of this, but I think we could still definitely pull something off. Shiranui Squire is a fantastic card to start off with. We can actually just activate it on summon, of course, and you can special summon one of your Spectral Sword monsters. Of course, I already mentioned this in the deck profile, so I won't be going over it again, but it's up to you. Do you want to go for your Shade, or would you rather go for your original Spectral Sword? Now, you have to think in this case, what do you actually want to do? Well, the thing is this, you could go for a level 7, which would be Squire Saga, or you could go for a level 6, which would be the Swordsman Saga. So, if you bring out Spectral Sword and you get out your level 6, the great thing is that at least the Spectral Sword has a good graveyard effect, allowing you to pretty much do a pseudo synchro summon from the graveyard in case one of your cards gets destroyed. However, with the Shade, it doesn't really apply right now, so given that I might not go for this in the early game, best to go for the Spectral Sword first. So we're going to bring that out, and we simply just go for a synchro summon. That's pretty much as simple as it gets. So where is it? Over here. Sorry, not our Swordsman Saga, our Samurai Saga is our level 6. But nevertheless, this is a great option. It doesn't really do anything right now, but we can always leave it at that. We do have Burial from the different dimension. We could just keep this in the hand because it doesn't really apply in this case, so keep it. But we could easily set the Super Poly. Of course, we have targets, whatever our opponent has, of course. But we also have over here Caught by the Grave, potentially negating stuff, disrupting, all fantastic of course. And we also have an Ash here, ready to pretty much negate. And like I said earlier, our potential follow-up is these two could pretty much banish off, go for another synchro summon. Or in the event that Samurai Saga gets destroyed on your following turn, you could banish Spectral Sword with the Samurai Saga, and this would allow you to go for your level 8, which would be a more powerful option. It's fantastic. Wow, this is actually very surprising, honestly. Quite repetitive of a hand, but we could still pull this off. Go for your Squire. Squire obviously summons out something. In this case, I mean, you could go for whatever you want. It's not necessarily the worst thing, but I'm always going to go for the Spectral Sword just because it's the best to start you off with. But this is as simple as it gets. Go for your Synchro Summon, and you simply just bring out your Samurai Saga. And of course, yeah, I mean, you could leave it at that by setting down these two. This is, keep in mind, it's a very powerful card because the Swallow Slash obviously also allows you to banish one of your Shiranuis, pretty much allowing you to really just kick things off. So definitely nice there. You also don't have to go into that. You could, instead of going for your Synchro Summon, you could actually go for your Link Summon, and because they're both zombies, let's go for your Vampire Sucker, and then you can just activate your Monster Reborn and bring out one of your monsters. It doesn't really matter what you bring out, but keep the Spectral Sword in the graveyard and just bring out your Squire. It is the stronger option anyway. Sucker allows you to draw a card, so we're going to shuffle our deck. And we're just going to draw a card off Vampire Sucker since we summoned a zombie from the grave. We draw into a Solitaire, that's not bad, great start for their following turn. I mean, we still have these two here, always fantastic of course. But with that being said, just set both of these, very powerful. Yeah, for Shiranui deck, the Swallow Slashes are amazing. They'll work out really well for this deck, so definitely really fantastic here. Alright, so very different opening hand here. I love the variety that we've been getting so far, but we have the field spell, we can activate it. Since we control no zombie monsters, well, unfortunately we can't do anything because we do need something in the grave. So quite unfortunate there, but that's okay. We still have over here Spirit Master, and we are allowed to special summon out a Shiranui monster from your hand or graveyard, except itself. But banish it when it leaves the field. So in this case, I'm going to summon out the Solitaire from the hand, tribute this, and then you could special summon one of your zombies, or at least your tuners with 0 attack from your deck. Very nice of course. So in this case, we have two options. We have Spectral Sword, and we have here our Shade. But since we already have Shade in hand, we just go for Spectral Sword. It's a good start for Spectral Sword anyway. Now, since this was actually banished, normally you would get an effect, but unfortunately nothing applies since nothing is actually banished, so we just keep it as is. But we could easily just synchro summon these two together, and this will allow you to go for your 6, being your Samurai Saga. Of course, this might look like it's not much, but keep in mind we have lots of cards potentially interacting. We have Spectral Sword as a follow-up here. On the next turn, you can just use it to banish with the Spirit Master to go for another Samurai Saga from your extra deck. Or if this gets destroyed, you could banish this alongside Spectral Sword to go for a level 8, being your Shogun Saga. However, if you did use your Spectral Sword with the Spirit Master, you banish these two, go for a second copy of the Samurai Saga, and since Spirit Master was banished, you could also target one card and destroy it. So definitely a very great option there. And of course you still have here your Shiranui Smith and your Shade as a potential follow-up, so that's great as well. And if this gets destroyed, you pretty much have Style Synthesis anyway, allowing you to essentially discard one of your cards here and summon back out your Samurai Saga, or whichever one you want, as long as it has 0 defense. So quite effective there, very nice, very powerful. Of course, I would like to actually make a separate video to potentially do some very extended test stands where we could actually continue on to turn 2, turn 3, but maybe I'll make that into a separate video. I'll let you guys decide on that. However, this was pretty much it for today's video, just following on with test stands going first. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing some test stands going second, so do stay tuned for that. However, thanks for joining me today. I hope you all have an incredible day. I'll see you all next time.